Okay, and welcome back to part 2 of the Rising 10th grade registration video. When last we left, I had picked my 8th and final class. Just as a review, let's go ahead and take a look. You can see that I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I put in the information. So in this case, we had went with former President Millard Fillmore because his name is relatively non-generic. We can create an email address for him. We'll say that he got his mom to help him out there. He did not shadow CTC in either case, so we'll go ahead and pick those so that we can make sure we're submitting. He did not fail graduation requirement. Then we're going to count. We're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4 because it's only one class and because we didn't pick one of the double ups. 5 is the AP Physics class right there. We can see 6 is our Spanish 4 class, 7 is our Microsoft Cert class, and then 8th is going to be our strength training class right there. So now we get to a very important area, which is the alternate area. Now everyone is going to be required to put 2 alternates in. That is if for some reason your class is not offered at the time that you're hoping for, or you pick a couple things and they either don't run because there's not enough people that signed up for them, or just for whatever reason you aren't able to get a class to fill. Now our hope is to always not have that happen, but stuff happens. So an important thing right here is that we have to enter the course number, and you have to enter it correctly, because what happens is the eSchool system that we use for scheduling will just suck the number up, and that is going to be how it figures out what your alternates are. So if you pick a class that's the wrong number, or you only put 5 numbers down instead of 6, it will not read your alternate, and you may end up not getting one of your alternate choices, and it will pick for you, which could lead to some problems. So what you're going to do for alternate 1 is you're going to look for the 9th class. So in other words, after your 8, what is the most desirable class if for some reason something doesn't fit? So let's say, for example, that my 9 is Art 1. I see the Art 1 is 291010, and I'm going to go ahead and type that in, making sure that I have it right. So I'm going to go back up, double check 291010. All is good. And maybe for alternate 2, I decided, if for some reason it gets to number 2, I'll just go ahead and double up in math. So I look right there, and I see that my 10th choice and final choice is pre-calc. I saw that that was 233111. So I'm going to put that down, making sure that I see that, and then once again going back up and just double checking to make sure the number is correct. So I feel pretty good right now. I got my alternates picked. I got my 8 classes there. I look, am I planning on taking virtual school class? Maybe I am interested in that. Maybe I'm going to take a class on top of it. So remember, the virtual school class counts as a 9th class on top of the 8 in the building. So if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and pick yes. If you have no interest or you've already taken yours, you pick no. For the sake of this, I'm just going to pick no. I'm happy with my 8 in the building and my 2 alternates. And then this final thing says, I've reviewed my choices, affirm that I have selected 8 courses and 2 alternate courses. Unless I'm currently a CTC student. That's not going to be an issue for you because CTC students still have not been accepted yet. So we're probably going to change the language of this to begin with. So everybody should be picking 8 courses and 2 alternates, and like I said, we'll be paring it down. It just says make sure that you pick exactly 8 and not 2, because it may end up screwing up your choices. So like if you click 10 different things up here in the main area, the computer is just going to default to your first 8 choices, and it may tease out something that is not appealing to you. Ditto if for some reason you put the wrong number, or a number that only has 5 digits or has 7 digits, or it's just not the right number and doesn't exist. Just be aware that that's going to be something that will cause harm to your registration sheet. But when you're feeling comfortable, you're going to hit yes. Okay, and that's required. You see there's 2 choices down here. There's save and return later, which is self-explanatory. That means if it's in progress and you still want some time to be able to submit it, you hit that and it will go ahead, and I'll show you where it will be archived, but you can return to it. But if you are officially done, you're going to hit save and I am finished. Now when that button is hit, it is the point of no return. You're saying that you are done and we will not be able to reopen it. So for the sake of Mr. Fillmore, I'm going to say that he had a chance to look it over and check it out, but he might want to return later. So I'm going to hit save and return later, and you can see your survey is saved. Now, if I go back to the home page, where you're going to be able to re-access that survey. You can see you can still click it right there, but it will also be archived in the About Me area in the Surveys to Take area. You can go ahead and click that, and it brings you right back to where you were at before. So now, say I review it the next time I'm there, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to hit save and I am finished. It's going to say once you submit your answers, you'll not be able to return, and then you are going to hit OK. And you are now officially done the registration sheet for next year. Congratulations. Your choices have been made, and what will happen is those will go into the creation of the master schedule for next year. And usually the master schedule is complete toward the end of July, and we'll do those 7 to 8 summer days when you can change your classes, as well as the first 5 days of the school year. So just be aware that, once this is submitted, this is basically saying that until the summer, your choices are in. So pick carefully. That's not to scare you, but pick carefully. Remember that the electives fair for some more information on a variety of things, not just in the building, but the virtual school will be there. The dual enrollment folks from FCC will be there. The various academies will be there. You can get information about IB. Mrs. McBroom will not be there, but we can certainly answer questions because all the counselors will be there. Anything you could possibly imagine question-wise, you can get answers for there. And it's for parents and students, and that is going to be Thursday of registration week, which is the 8th. And you will be able to ask questions from 6 to 8 in the cafeteria that night. So we look forward to seeing you there. Registration is going to start that Monday of that week, the 5th, and it will run into the next Friday. And so looking down at my trusty calendar right here, you can see, I'm going to pick it right now. You can see that will be the 16th is the last date. You actually couldn't see it, but I was able to cheat a little bit right there to see what the last day is. So 2 weeks entirely, and you will be able to have your classes on board. So thanks so much for hanging in there. As always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to your counselor by going to the front of the office and just saying you'd like a pass to talk to us, or shooting an email to your counselor proactively. Have a great day.